He speaks and the sound of his voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks.
My name is Lisa Jackson. MONOLISA, One Woman, Many Voices is my artistic name, and I'm the writer and director and co-director and actor of A Tale of Two Women.
A Tale of Two Women, or Tale of Two Woman, is a story about two very different women, Glorious and Blossom, both of Jamaican heritage, who loved the same man. In the first act, the scene is set at a funeral service, and the voice of Glorious paints this picture of a very caring husband and wonderful father.
He was a loyal son, a faithful husband, and a devoted father.
While on the other hand, in the second act, which is set in Blossom's living room, there she tells a very different story about a man that she says abandoned her and her children, and as a result contributed to her weight gain and poor health.
3 times he left me now. 1, when they go to England. 2, when they go after that natty head girl there. And 3, now in pass. If him not come back.
The concept is amazing. It's very multi-layered. The story about two women who are in conflict and, for a very tiny reason. It's about heritage and history. And I think it's really in its moment, it's of the time, it's of this time now, where you have a lot of elders who are finding out about themselves and about extended families and, fractured families and how we come together as human beings. I think it's a really interesting way of exploring stories, and I think it's beautiful that it's done through women, through the tale of two women, so a woman's voice. I think it's really good.
He will be missed by you. Especially our 2 sons, Oxford and Lawford. Here and all, we should all name them Lawford and Oxford. If God did that bless her with 3 pitney, like him a bless me. Here what she call the next one now. Cambridge Ford? I was 19 when I visited Jamaica, accompanied by LENFORD and his brother Kelford. And although the visit was on a very sad occasion, LENFORD was happy to see his homeland again, and I to feel the warmth of Jamaica for the first time.
I remember the first time she reached back from Jamaica, you see? And now she complained about the toilet business out there. And now the sun too hot, and the pace too slow, and the mosquito too bite. And now she's scarred for life. If I did know she could do me so, I would have prayed if she dropped down the big toilet and drowned.
LENFORD was a very down-to-earth kind of man. After we got married, we moved to a bigger house. However, LENFORD was not interested in the house or the area. Just the garden and the large outbuilding. She take my LENFORD out of Radford and upgrade him to West Bridgeford.
I think it's a really interesting concept because it's a story told from two different perspectives, from two very strong, centred women. I think that you can see that there's a really strong sense of research and collaboration that's gone into the character development, and that certainly comes through the piece as you move from the first act through to the second act. It's really truthful and an honest representation.
Just pop in. The arms extend to the sides. And the second part.
I really love the concept of this play. I think it's really exciting, and it's a thing that a lot of people can relate to. Because I can imagine even being in Jamaica, being in Nottingham, being anywhere around the world, there's someone who's been in a situation where, you know, they've loved someone, they've trusted someone, and this person's completely betrayed them. So I think it's a concept that a lot of people can relate to, definitely.
Oh, me did want to tell hearty about me, my man faithful too. Oh, me want to send a picture to Jamaica and tell everybody say we make with success in England.
I think it's beautifully written, and it's something that I feel that anyone and everyone will be able to relate to. It has that conflict of different women, but different aspects of our own selves as well. Not necessarily just two people, but two different ways of dealing with situations, whether we're putting a front on, whether we're emotionally expressing that to the world.
I think this show will impact on society at large in terms of people, because of the way that we relate to other people. As human beings, we relate to other people in a way that is, the story is so engaging. It's really surprising and intriguing.
Before knowing LENFORD, I knew little of my heritage. It was LENFORD and a friend called Blossom, who ignited in me a burning desire to want to visit Jamaica. If not for them, I doubt I would have had any connection with the land my parents were from.
We were like sistering. I grew up with my own pitney them. Me trust her with my everything. How was I supposed to know? A few years later, she got turned, she red-eyed them at my LENFORD. Bloody brown. Yeah, he there to see? You know not say? Pretty Rose a mock of a joke, yo? Trust! I will never trust again.
I think it's a really human story that can relate to people of all ages. Certainly a traditional theatre audience, which typically is sort of the 42 plus age group, but also to a younger generation. Just really the family connections would chime to would chime across a really broad age range.
I think it would affect. I think it's going to touch a lot of people's heartstrings, especially the older generation from Jamaica, and anyone who's been in a situation where their parent has left their mother or father, and they can relate to that situation. And I think that is definitely going to pull a few heartstrings.
I think it will affect all generations really. I think there's aspects of the play in the read-through that people will be able to relate to, whether it was being abandoned, rejected, left, betrayed, and there's that conflict of friendship as well as the emotional turmoil, remembering past loves as well.
He said in my lack of attention, they drive him into the hand of an ex-woman. One who just happened to be the best friend for over 20 years. The dirty natty head girl there.
I think this show will impact on elders. I think it will also give an insight for the younger generation to understand how people used to live, what it was back in the day, how it was, especially from a Caribbean perspective as well. So from my perspective as a Black British African woman, I think it's great to be able to hear these stories and also to identify with other cultures in a way that is meaningful, because I think historically we don't really get to hear the stories of people who have passed, and you hear about, and also we don't reveal, do we? It's always the secret, there's always a secret in the family or something that's going on. I think this story reveals history in a way that is not about saying, oh yeah, this was also polished and pink. This is about life, which is rainbow coloured, and we have all of the negative and the positives in the same elements as well. I think it's beautifully done, beautifully put together and written and performed as well by Lisa Jackson. Amazing.
Within my heart is ringing, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other